button and nada, it just did this. I think you guys can hear that. A quick video for you guys that I want to show you how I'm going to diagnose the problem I had. So, morning of the race, I got up, started the bike up, warmed it up, is all good to go. Before I was needed to be ready. So then had some coffee, got everything ready, got geared up, ready to go. Hit the button, fired up, took off. Was awesome. Went over to the start. We transferred over to the actual start of the race. And as I'm in line getting ready to start the race, I hit the button and nada, it just did this. I think you guys can hear that. The solenoid clicking. It's got no go. So then I was like, well, fortunately, I have this lovely thing called a Kickstarter here still. So I started the bike, went, raced the first test, first transfer, first big long transfer, got to gas, and I took the seat off. Check the battery terminals, check the ground, check the terminals on the solenoid. Everything looks good. Solenoid's still clicking, but no starty. So I put it all back together. I resigned myself to the fact that, oh well, that's all right, I can kickstart the bike. Again, that's why I like bikes with Kickstarters. And it was all good. And then I went to go to the next test, and the button worked. So then it worked all the rest of that day, almost 100 miles. It worked. And then the next morning, it worked fine. It worked through tests 1, 2, and 3. And then waiting for test 4, it quit working again and started clicking again. And then sometime during test 6 or 7, it started working again. And then now it doesn't work again. So, interesting stuff. Go ahead and comment below what your guesses are. Because I don't know yet, honestly. I really don't know. I have no idea. So we're going to figure it out together. First, when you hit the button, you can hear it click. So we know that the button is working, because the button is causing the solenoid to do something. It's clicking. That doesn't mean the solenoid is actually transferring power, though. So what we're going to do to start is we're going to come down here to our positive lead for the starter. And we're going to put a meter lead here and a meter lead to ground somewhere on the engine, and we're going to see if when we hit the button if we get 12 volts. Alright guys, so we're taking our meter, putting it to volts DC, and we're going to hit the button. There's 13 volts going to that. So most likely what that means is that the starter is bad. It wouldn't totally surprise me, because it's down there in the gnarliness and the whatnot. So I think it's easy enough. I'm going to try just pulling that starter off and see if it works. Or see if I can pop it off there and see if it works when it's out. Alright, so there's our starter. Let's hit the button. So we do need still to ground this, so we can hold it against the motor right there. Ooh. Okay. So that spins just fine. Alright, so now got a long screwdriver to the skinny thing so I can get this gear in here. That gear touches works just fine. It's making me wonder, honestly, if our connection, first of all, whether our ground, so the way starters work, let me just tell you, is we have positive coming in here and it goes to the inside of the armature, then it's grounded because you need a positive and a ground for any electrical thing to work. It's grounded through the chassis of the starter here. So I'm wondering if maybe that chassis ground wasn't that good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off, clean it really good, everything clean, the terminal really, really well, put it all back together and see if that changes anything. All right, so that actually was super loose. Well, not like loose, but definitely not really very tight. So that could be the whole problem here. And it would explain why it was kind of intermittent. It would work and then not work, and then work and then not work. So what we're gonna do, let me show you something, guys. So there we go. You can see it's got some corrosion. It's not perfect there, so that's not awesome. And then also, you look at that, isn't super clean. So we were getting the 12 volts through it, but if it wasn't making a good connection on the actual starter, it may not work. So I'm gonna get a file and kind of scuff all that up, clean it out with brake clean, get a little bit of dielectric grease, put that on there, put it all back together and see if it works. Make sure clean where it grounds to the motor, like behind these 2 points. Make sure that's good. So that's all good and happy. Also, you want to put the starter in before you hook up the positive cable, mainly so that you have something you can like reach in there and reef on. Otherwise, you're trying to like move it around. Also, then you know that you get it routed the right way. So we got some electric grease on there. There we go. Alright, so it's nice and tight. Let's see if we hit the button if it changes anything. Haha! I think we're good to go. I think we fixed it. All that makes me happy. So these start systems, guys, are really, really simple. There's not much to it. Basically, there's just a battery. You have a hot wire coming off that battery, goes to the starter solenoid. Then you have a wire, 2 wires on the solenoid. Well, there's actually 3, but 2 matter in this situation. And they, one of them goes up to this button, and when you hit the button, it connects that wire to power, which then clicks the solenoid, causes the solenoid to click. It then connects the 2 poles of the solenoid and the hot wire from the battery, and then the hot wire down to the starter. That starter needs to be grounded well to the frame or the motor in this case, and then it works. So if any of that part goes wrong, you just replace the part, or sometimes you can fix starters, you can replace brushes and things like that. So anyway, hope that helps, guys. If you got a weird acting KTM starter.